Hello, I'm Samuel Archibald, student founder of Stun and one of the mentors for the Stun Cars Workshop. Today we're going to be installing the Arduino IDE, installing the Adafruit Motor Shield V2 library, and then learning how to modify the code and upload it to an Arduino board. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to Google Arduino with your whatever browser you have. Then Arduino Home, but then under that is Arduino-software. Click that. It's going to open up to the Arduino software page, or downloads page. So the options you have to download would be Windows, Windows Zip, Mac OS X, Linux 32, and Linux 64 bits. So to explain each package, Windows Installer is an installation package that downloads on Windows. If you can do it, I would recommend it, but you need the admin's password, and it goes into the programs folder and all that. Windows Zip is just a zip file that downloads, and you just extract it and then double-click Arduino.exe. Mac OS X is like Windows Zip. Linux 32 and Linux 64. If you download that obviously for your Linux machine, but if you have a Debian-based package like Ubuntu or Linux Mint, just type in sudo apt-get install and then Arduino, and it will install quite a bit better. So I'm going to download the Linux zip just for laughs, just to show you what to do, because most of you are probably going to download that. Hit just download unless you want to donate something. There we go. Now we're going to open up a new tab, or you can use the same tab, but Adafruit Motor Shield, take a second on my keyboard, library. Second link down, it says install software, Adafruit Motor Shield V2 for Arduino. We're using the V2 shield, so we want to select that. Alright, we're going to scroll down a bit, and there's a download latest Adafruit Motor Shield V2 library. So download from GitHub, and it downloads pretty much instantly. It's quick. Alright, now we can close out of a browser, go to a folder, whatever folder, then go to downloads. This will be, I'm demonstrating what it'll be like on a Windows or Mac machine. I'm on Ubuntu, so I don't, but downloads, and then that's not my downloads folder. That's my downloads folder. Alright, so what we want to do is extract our Arduino and Adafruit Motor Shield. How you extract it in Windows will vary depending on if you have an archive manager or not. In Mac, you just double click and it'll extract right there for you. And then we also want to extract Adafruit at the same time. Almost there. Alright. So double click Arduino, and then double click Arduino.exe if you have a Windows machine. If you have a Mac, it'll just say Arduino, and it won't have the square around it. It'll just be a circle with the infinity logo and the plus and minus. But anyway, so you start your Arduino IDE. I already have it installed. It just takes a second to turn on and go through everything. There we go. So this is the Arduino IDE. So this is what you'll be programming your Arduinos on, and what you'll be just doing your typical programming for this workshop. Anyway, so you have your file, and you have your sketchbook, your examples. You can go through and select which board you want to use, what programmer you have, importing libraries. But what we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to install our library. So if you have a Linux machine, then go to Preferences and search where your location is. It won't be the same as mine because I changed my directory so that this tutorial will go better for Windows people and Mac people. But for Windows and Mac, you go to Documents, Arduino, and then you should have the libraries and I think a Tools folder. If you don't have the libraries folder, just go and create a new folder and name it Libraries, exactly like that. So you want to double click that, and these are all libraries that I have installed previously. So you shouldn't have these. It should be totally empty if you got a fresh install of Arduino. And go get another window, downloads, and take the Adafruit motor shield, put it in there. Now what we want to do is we want to rename it because Arduino cannot actually read this file name. So we want Adafruit MV2, Adafruit MSV2. There you go. And there cannot be any spaces or dashes or anything like that. The Arduino software can't read it. So now that we have a good file name, now we can reopen Arduino. Because when you move the library in, you can't actually, if you leave an Arduino window open and you move the library, it won't be able to, it won't recognize it. So you have to close out of Arduino and then open it back up. Alright, so now if you go to Files and Examples, you should have Arduino MSV2. You can select one of the sketches, and there's one of the example files. Alright, so now we're going to go over sort of the basics of the code and the, how to modify the blink example, which is what this tutorial is going to show, and then we're going to show the Arduino and all that. So you're going to want to go to File, Examples, Basics, Blink. Close out of that, full screen that. Alright, so everything that's grayed out is a comment. A comment will tell you, give, pin 13 has an LED connected on most Arduino boards, give it a name. The name is, LED. So, blink turns on LED for 1 second, it turns it off repeatedly. Usually you have comments on the top to show it, to tell you what the code does and who it's by, and etc., etc. Those are comments. Int shows a integer. So you can give numbers names. So whenever you see LED in the code, it is equivalent to the integer 13. So pin mode LED output would be pin mode, replace LED with 13, LED 13 output. So void setup, this is the code that runs at the very beginning. So this will only run once, and it'll only run at the beginning. So you could do whatever you want in here, and it'll only run once, right when the microcontroller starts. So right here, every single setup, you have to tell what each pin that you're using on the Arduino does. So pin mode LED output, every digital pin, anyways. But you're saying that that pin LED, which is pin 13, is an output. So you output a voltage. You don't read the voltage. You're giving off a voltage. Then we're going to go to the main loop. So in a loop, which is the main part of the code, it just goes in circles over and over and over and over and over again, which is why microcontrollers are so great, so that you can use them in microwaves and fans, and in this case, remote controlled cars. They just go through the code over and over again, doing the commands that you type in. So digital write, this is saying that we want a pin to write a voltage. We want it to output a voltage. LED, which remember is pin 13, high, so we want it to output a on the Arduino Uno it's 5 volts, so we want it to give off 5 volts. Delay 1000, which is pretty obvious. You want to wait 1000, which is, this is in milliseconds. Keep that in mind. So it's just like this. Wait for a second. Digital write low LED, or digital write LED low. So digital write, so output a voltage to LED, which is pin 13, low, so bring it to 0 volts. Delay 1000, which would be 1 second. So now what we're going to do is we're going to, I'm going to show you the Arduino, but we're going to modify the code. We're going to go and we're going to replace 1000 and 1000 with different numbers. So if you do 500 and 500, now turns the LED on, waits half a second, turns it off, waits half a second, then goes back up because it's a loop, and then LED high, delay 500, and goes through the loop over and over again, waiting for half a second before each step.
Alright, there we go. We've switched over to the camera. We started recording on the desktop. Sorry for the crappy camera quality. I'm using my crap camera. We got a better camera coming soon. So, we have our Arduino. This is the Arduino itself. This is just an acrylic plate, and this is called a breadboard. Over here we have some shields. So I have a GSM and a touchscreen shield. those you can actually put onto the Arduino, and yeah, so you can add extra functionality and stuff like that. So you plug it into the USB port, plug it into your computer. Your computer should automatically recognize it. I can't remember if Windows you need to install a driver or not, but I don't think you do.
So then you just have to go, and this is the 1 second code. So every second it'll blink. Now this is actually the code that comes with the Arduino. I'm actually using I'm not actually using the original processor that came with the chip, with the Arduino rather. It's not the original chip. There might be a future video on how to replace it, but this is 1 second. So you go to Tools, Serial Port, and select which serial port your board is on. Go ahead and hit Upload, and on your Arduino you'll see some LEDs blink, or flash, RX and TX.
So it's compiling. They're uploading, so now you should see some blinking. There you go, and the LED that's on the board has started blinking once every second. So now, we want to make this a bit more visible. You can keep it how it is, and it'll be just fine for this example, but I want to make it more visible for you guys. So we actually have right here a 220 ohm resistor. I'm going to actually put this in 13. Sorry for the shakiness of the video and of my... There you go. Inserting. Alright, so now this is an LED. Bigger pin is positive, and it doesn't matter which way you put the resistor in, but bigger pin is positive, or longer pin is positive, shorter pin is negative. We're going to put one in ground, and the other over. Come on, get in there. Second. There we go. A second. I just had it. Here, just move this over one. There we go. So now we have an LED. It's blinking once per second, so we have a resistor and a LED in series going from pin 13 into ground. Like I said, you can just keep it with this LED. As you can see, they blink at the same exact time. It's the same thing.
Alright, so you go back to the code. This is how to make it blink faster. Like I said beforehand, you just go here, change it to 500, 500, upload.
There you go. Now you can see it's actually blinking faster. It's blinking once every half second.
Now we're going to go in here. We're going to make it blink 0.1 second. Every 0.1 second. Should be pretty fast. I'm not sure if the camera will be able to keep up with it, but we're compiling.
It's uploading. There you go. Now it's blinking really fast.
It's uploading. There you go. Now it's blinking really fast. Alright, so that is how you make an LED blink really, really fast. That's how you edit the code. A basic understanding. And then go ahead and that's that. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'm Samuel Archibald with Stun. And remember, like, comment, subscribe. Go to the website www.stuntech.org. And yeah, so see you guys at the workshop. Bye.